now call for a motion to approve the minutes of our last regular council meeting and our work session. So if there's any corrections or additions, please make them known, and I'll call for a motion.
Mayor, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from May 21st, both our regular meeting and work session.
Okay, so I have a motion, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Motion second, all in favor, Matt?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye. Item number 3, we need to ratify our cash disbursements. I know we've already voted on it, so I'll call for motion to ratify the approval.
So moved.
I have a second.
I'll
Aye.
second.
All in favor, Wally?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
And we're now in a brief open session, so if there's anyone in the audience who would like to address the council, please step forward. If not, we'll move on to item number 6. The community promise, we won't have our meeting until next Thursday, so that'll be on our next agenda. So, Mayor Robinson, you are up.
Our graduation.
So for the student summary, you like to report, the last one, by the way, we have many youth councils that participated in assisting at the Memorial Day celebration. We think it turned out to be a successful event, everybody cheers and hold those. It's really fun, but it's pretty all day. And then for this month, we will decorate the float on Monday, June 17th at the city shop in the morning. We are asking to have the float pulled by the snowplow truck so we can attach the banner to the pile. It seems to do a really good job at the parade. And then for applications for next year's council are due on the 20th. Advisors would like to have leadership interviews on positions signed by the end of July, as positions and staying in place before the school year begins. And on Wednesday, the 26th, we'll be touring the European Geologic Museum. We are asking the youth and artists to be as space limited in attendance will be first come, first served.
They limiting how many can go, is it, you know, or do we just have to give them a number so they can prepare for us?
And then for next month, we will participate in the West Valley Parade on the morning of the 4th and the South Valley Parade on the evening of the 19th. And we invite Mayor Ensha, all council members, to join us for the parade.
Do you have a time for the fourth?
I think the parade starts at 10, does it not?
Yeah.
Can you email us and give us the times and where we're meeting for the folks and stuff?
Yeah, I'm quite sure that the shop is about everyone.
Okay, perfect, thank you so much. We really do appreciate all the work you guys did for our Memorial Day celebration. It was fantastic, so thank you everyone, and I appreciate all you've done this year.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So on that with the snowplow, that would be an issue.
What's that?
If they take the snowplows off, that isn't a simple fix. I don't know if our great big one, we ever take the plow off, but most of those are
Just small on the truck.
in the truck, and those, even like, those become you did fix a leak, that's your back, and that's your dump truck. We could, if they want something like that, you could always do a backhoe or something, and put a truck to backhoe front, but just something to consider that, you can check with Scott, but my guess is there's not gonna be any plows on any trucks in July.
Well, yeah.
And it isn't just slapped on usually, unless they have some real quick.
We just have Scott with them, and I take it they did find a trailer, right?
Yeah, the trailer, a lot of the planks were just loose, so he's getting a pipe down and then a few around the edges that are, weather, so he's getting a replacement for there, so he'll get. Yeah, okay.
Thank you. Okay, item number 7, council kudos.
All right, so, good. I was excited to get this email. So for those of you who don't know, we have employees who will nominate other employees for a council kudos award, and then they get a $25 gift card. So it says, I wanted to nominate, this is from Bonnie Craig. I wanted to nominate Jessica Sims for council kudos. She won't like the recognition, but she is really awesome. I have worked with her for several years now, and I am always impressed how she just goes about her job, always doing her best, but just doing it because she wants to make things better, not because she wants recognition for doing so. She is so smart, and she is always trying to think of ways to make Witchcraft City a great place to work. She has made me feel like an invaluable member of the team, something that is sometimes hard for me to feel since I'm not at the office often. She's very complimentary on my work, which makes me want to work even harder to make sure my work is done so well, so she will continue to be proud of what I do to contribute. She is not only a great coworker, but has extended a hand of friendship, which has also made such a difference in my life. I am also always amazed how she balances work and home being her top priority, but work never seems to take a backseat. She has great ideas and is very down to earth and never seems to let things get her down. I have learned a great deal from her, and I appreciate the opportunity to recognize her efforts in giving and always giving 200% to all that she does. Thanks so much, Bonnie Craig. So, congratulations, Jessica. I agree with what she sent in. Here's your $25 gift card to Amazon. For keeping UPS employed as well.
Yeah. And I know Bonnie's listening. Bonnie, you're dedicated. Or she will be listening.
Laugh and laugh.
Thanks, Julie, appreciate that, and Jess, you do a wonderful job, so
Thank you.
thank you. Moving on to item number 8, Beth, you're up. We appreciate you being here tonight, and I know you have a PowerPoint presentation.
Yes, I do. Thank you so much, Mayor and, council and staff. It's been, it's so great to come back and, to do this, in a different industry, but it's just awesome to do something else again, so thank you.
We were talking trash last time.
I know. From trash to trash, that's where I'm going. Just for the record, I'm Beth Holbrook, I'm one of the trustees for Utah Transit Authority, and, I just wanted to give you a little bit of an update, and then, turn it over to, some great UTA employees, Hal Johnson and Andrea Coleman, and, Hal is gonna talk about the updated, BRT, the, collector, the collector, I apologize, there's so many different names, most of them are not. And Andrea Coleman is our general manager of our Ogden business unit, and they're the ones who manage all of the buses and, in the system, in Davis and also. Just a little bit from my side, and then we'll go ahead and, you said I think it's quicker there.
There's the printer right there.
Thank you so much. I think this could be now first. Oh, okay. So, just a little bit of overview, and I just wanted to get this so that you have it available, in case you do get one of those to ask questions. This is bus service that is currently in, Woodcroft area. It either touches on Woodcroft or goes through or some other factor, and on this side of it, this is the bus route, so the numbers of the route, the ridership, and then the hours of frequency. We, have about 573 average daily boarding and 521 average daily, alighting. We also have Front Runner here at stop, as you know, and so between all of those components, we're really glad to partner with Wisconsin City, and we know knows how important it is to have access not only to the buses to get to, Muncie, Salt Lake or up north, but also the front runners to connect as well. I think it's gonna be one of the critical things coming down the pipeline, so.
Can I ask you a question?
You can.
Is that 573 average for our station?
Yes, this is what's crossed.
Just for trucks, okay.
And, I also wanted to talk about some of the things really quickly that are gonna be, what we're looking at towards the future. So one of the things that, I've been talking about since I got more familiar with what is involved in UCA and in this role, and we're talking basically something about the future of Frontrunner. And, the future of Frontrunner is kind of one of those unique things. Right now, we are actually at peak, at max capacity during our peak hours, morning and afternoon. And as you know, those run every 30 minutes in the rush hour, and then peak is every hour, and on Saturdays. And I always get a question, when are you gonna do Sundays? So right now, we reserve Sundays to do all of our repairs, and we have to look at every inch of our track, all the way up and down, our 90 miles along the Wabash front. That leads me to my next discussion, the future of Frontrunner. And the goal would be to actually double track and electrify our system. Number one, electrifying is air quality issues, it's also, speed and a more refined, faster approach. Our locomotives right now have what we call PTC, which is positive train control, and it basically regulates the speed due to the federal mandate that was required that we install that. And so anytime we're coming up onto crossings or anything that the system thinks is a potential for trouble, it slows and or stops the locomotive based on whatever that is. And so what it does is it doesn't allow us to increase service and or to do Sunday service until we can get more trains so that we can have them pass each other, so they don't have to stop. We know that this is gonna be an expensive endeavor, and we look at this as a long-term infrastructure investment into the communities that we service. Just for the record, we service 7 counties, including the Summit, although we only offer express bus to Park City. And remaining 6 counties, we have Frontrunner tracks and then bus service, as well as the UBS, which is our CRT, our bus rapid transit. And those are what we are doing right now today. And in the future, we know that there's going to be limited opportunities to really significantly expand the freeway system. And so how do we move people? We really want to move people by getting them to where they need to go. Well, not everyone is traveling just to Salt Lake. Lincoln Burton, not everyone is just traveling to Lehigh, counter to what you might have heard. We are actually creating these real significant economic areas, if you will, along the Wabash front. Is how can we get maximum capacity to get people to where they need to go? So I have an in-depth study that I'm going to do, that I will do a follow-up with that talks about some of the components of that. There has been discussion that Utah, Salt Lake City specifically, might get the Olympics. So some of the Frontrunner discussions that we're having today would have to be, no pun intended, fast track, and allow us to build up that system to move people if we do end up getting that. So that is in a nutshell what I'm doing as far as Frontrunner and service goes. For any questions on bus service, Andreas Coleman is the #1 guy to ask any questions on. And so if you have anything, please feel free to reach out to any of us. I wanted to talk about a little bit about the government, and then I'm going to turn it over to Hal to talk about South Davis, specifically the ERC. So I was put into this role along with Carlton Christensen on November 1st of 2018, and it ultimately seems like ages ago and just yesterday, so kind of both of those. One of the things that we've tried to do in UCA is to really enhance our transparency. I think that's kind of one of the critical things that the legislature really wants us to take a look at. And so one of the ways that we've done that is we actually have implemented weekly public meetings. We meet every Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. And we go through various components of the entire organization, whether it is budget requests, whether it's contract approvals, Whether it is, what are we going to do with the future of Front Runner? What are some of the things that are coming down the pipeline that we should be talking about? So we have those discussions in our public meetings, and we feel like that we have enhanced the level of what already existed in the past. We also have an advisory council, and for Woodcroft City, your, COG nominated, individual is Mayor Eric Crayhorn from West Point. And he's done an excellent job we talk frequently, and any questions that he has, I heard her send him short meetings ago, and we feel like that's a strong enhancement to, what we already are doing as a, trustee board. We're technically a board of trustees, sometimes we'll say commissioner, but that's what we will say, trustees. And the other thing that we talked about is some of the things that we think could enhance transportation and transit in general. One of the other things that we're doing, that I think would be exciting to implement here is we're doing a microtransit study in, southwest, Salt Lake County. That is, Harriman, part of South Jordan, Bluffdale, Riverton, and Draper. And we all know how Uber and Lyft work, right? You put it in your app, and you call it, it comes to get you and drops you door to door. So, kind of what we do with microtransit, but slightly different. So let's picture, for instance, an older retired individual living in the community who just wants to go to the doctor's office. So it's relatively small. So obviously sending her car is not going to happen. That's not going to be of value. What this would do is she could either use the app just like an Uber and say, I am here and I need to get to here, or she can call in just because as a requirement for any federal money that we have to always have ADA compliance with our vehicles. So she can either use the app or call in, and what that microtransit will do is it will say, I have 6 different people that are wanting to go in a similar place, and so it calculates how they can do this in the best fashion, and it goes around and routes them. Now, it doesn't always go door to door, so just to be clear, it could be that she's in a cul-de-sac and it will make her walk down to the, to the end of the block. But it's supposed to be an almost solution that is the same cost as a regular, fare would be, which is $2.50. And that person could then go to the doctor's appointment, it's done, and no problems. It will drop them off almost as close as it can within like a half block radius. It also would stop at Front Runner, and it would stop in key locations as well. And we're hoping that this pilot, is really going to be able to be something that we can implement throughout our service area. But for right now, it's a new pilot. It's going to start in, the fall. We don't have all the details. It's currently out to RFP, but we're hoping that we can, get that established and, take that data and really kind of enhance our services even more. So, does anyone have any questions on any of that before I turn it over to Colin?
Will that be, will you allow minors to use that, like minors can ride a bus now? Would they be able to utilize that?
And that's a good question. We're debating on how to do that. So several other transit organizations in the country, some of them allow it and some of them do not. Because it is a service and it's a public service, it is basically an app-based program, so there's talk to have it, be allowed. But at this point, we're still finalizing all of that, so I can't answer those right now.
Did you say that with the ADA and all that, would these be buses that have wheelchair ramps on every vehicle?
So it would not be buses. It would be vans, the 15-passenger vans, and most of them would have ADA, but every now and then we would have one that would go in, it would just pick up people that do not have that requirement. But we as an organization have to have that as an option for people. So, and it would just be we kind of are making the assumption that we have to have that in place, so most of those are gonna have ADA, but every now and then it might not, depending upon what gets established. So we're gonna test it out. Good question.
It's also been refreshing to have more direct communication as COG. To have you guys are there almost every meeting, and so that open communication is always there, so we can discuss our transportation needs in the county. So
they are really working hard to make sure that we can continue to enhance that connection. But I feel really strongly that, as a former city person, I feel really strongly that this is one of the critical things that would really help our systems in the future and our community. So, with that, I'm going to turn it over to Hal to talk about our, David Sullivan Community Connected. I got it right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good evening. Pleasure to be here with you tonight. So I'm going to give you a quick update on the Salt Lake Community Connector project. So, there you go. So the background on this. So there's been a number of different studies looking at the need to improve transit service in southern Davis County, connecting into Salt Lake County. So there was Wasatch Front had done a 2005 study. UDOT did a study in 2008, and then UCA, we did a study in 2014, and we finished up. It resulted in the recommended Salt Lake Davis Connector project. The UDOT study was recommending a streetcar alternative, that was very controversial, and so that one, we were able to move forward with that. We picked up the pieces of it and reevaluated it in the 2014 study. This map is, how it is, maybe a little bit hard to read, but this is from the Wasatch Front Regional Council, and this is the current long-range plan that's being recommended. And what I just wanted to draw out for you is the current long-range plan is still showing the need for improved transit service in southern Davis County. So the market and rationale for kind of talking about improved service is, we have the front runner station, but the front runner is, on the east side of Davis County, is not located close to population centers. And so there's market for something that would connect to and circulate from front runner, as well as connect directly to Salt Lake, so people wouldn't have to come over to front runner and then connect across. So it provides more opportunities for one seat ride, as well as people coming from Salt Lake County to Davis County for employment opportunities and such. So kind of looking at why we would make an investment, which is kind of the purpose and need. So mobility was the big component, kind of providing this first last mile connection from front runner, redevelopment, revitalization, growth, and kind of supporting community goals for all things we're looking at, as well as serving the market. So Beth mentioned, the bus ridership we have in Woods Cross, and we have regional routes that are connecting through, the southern Davis County. So some of those are our top performing routes in the UTA system on a ridership basis, and so we're interested in working to try to enhance those routes as well. So these are the cities that have been involved with the project. So it's been Woods Cross, Bountiful, North Salt Lake, Davis County has been a huge partner with this, as well as Salt Lake County, UDOT, and Wasatch Front Regional Council, along with partners on the Salt Lake Davis Connector study. So this was the recommended project from the Salt Lake Davis Connector study. So it was a bus rapid transit project. So I've got a little slide, a few down that kind of talks a little bit more about bus rapid transit, but so the route was connecting from Woods Cross Station over to 89, and then south to Salt Lake County, and then we'd come down 400 west, and then connect to the front runner station, and then that would also provide a connection to light rail out to the airport. And then we're evaluating potential just either terminating the service somewhere in downtown Salt Lake, or connecting up to the University of Utah. So the routes that I mentioned that were some of the top ridership routes we have in Davis County, one of them connects to the University of Utah, one of them terminates in downtown Salt Lake. So we wanted to evaluate those options. So I'm just going to go back real quick. So the red on that notes for the fixed guideways, so the buses would be in their own lane. and the blue notes, where we have, buses running in mixed traffic. So our, UBX project that Beth mentioned, that's our bus rapid transit project we recently opened in Eastern County. It's also a mix of, exclusive lane as well as, mixed flow. So these are the bus routes I was mentioning, the 455 and the 470. The 470 is the route, and it connects, down from Ogden and goes through the, Farmington Station and then terminates in downtown Salt Lake. And the, 455, connects from Utah State University, down through Davis County to Salt Lake, and then connects up to the University of Utah. So those are some high ridership routes that serve, Davis County. And so this is just, the slide I mentioned about what is bus rapid transit. So, the way I explain it the easiest is it's, and I didn't make this one up, I got it from Eugene, Oregon. So it's, light rail, but not light rail, if that makes sense. So we wanted to take the same attributes that you have with the light rail system. So some fixed skyway component with the project, outboard fare collection, branding, schemes, so we call them EDX, as well as, off-board, mentioned the off-board fare collection, and then, nicer shelters, as well as, landscaping. And one of the big things that we have with these systems is, transit signal priority. And so what that means is the buses are in communication with the traffic signals and allow the buses to, move, through the traffic signal. And usually what it does is it extends the, green time, by 10 seconds or more, and then it will reduce the red time in the opposite direction by about 10 seconds or more, depending on, the bus. And so what that does is it helps speed up the traffic flow, that keeps it more on time. And so that's a huge thing we hear from customers is, they want the service to be fast and reliable. And so the more, with transit signal priority, we can really tighten up those, arrival times for buses. So the benefits, for implementing a project like this, this is from the study that we finished up in 14, is, one of the big things is, looking at congestion on I-15. So the southern Davis County segment is one of the most congested, pieces of I-15. And where my office is in EPA, I was looking out the window and gauge the traffic and how congested it is before I head up to these meetings. But there's quite a bit of, peak hour traffic, for employment, people going to and from, Davis County. And so having an alternative like the DOT project where it would be with its own exclusive lane, we can maintain consistent travel time, especially if there's incidents on the freeway or those where the buses aren't, stuck in the same traffic. And, improving air quality, regional air quality is a huge issue for everybody. And so looking at, the more we can pull people onto transit alternative modes, big improvement in air quality. I was gonna mention, like with our front runner system, there's, at different points within the system, we're carrying over 1,000 people an hour, which was, if you think about, how much more the freeway would be congested if we had, that many more cars out in the freeway, lanes. And so it makes a big difference. Want to support the community's goals with seeing development and redevelopment in the corridor. We also, have looked at, improving bike and ped connections as part of the project. That, also helps that first last mile connection to, help people get on transit. And then, I think probably from my perspective, one of the biggest ones is just community building. By making these investments, we can show certainty to the development community, by having a project there and an investment there. And we've seen, big returns on that. If you guys are interested in doing a tour with us and seeing some of the great things that have happened, like along our S-line in Salt Lake County, we've seen, hundreds of millions of dollars in redevelopment occurring in that corridor, land to 400 South is a very similar, story. Great projects, that have been built in those corridors. So we see bus rapid transit can help be part of that equation to encourage development.
Has there been any discussion on doing electric buses?
That is a great question.
So, even though, like in Park City, they're trying to convert their fleet over to all electric. But I know, one of the talking points was don't reduce emissions.
Yeah.
And so that was one of my questions, is if some of this bus rapid transit could go electric.
Yeah, that's a great question. So we have been doing a number of different, electric bus projects. So we've got, we won a NOLO grant, it's a federal government grant, no low emissions. And we won, $5.4 million, in 2015 to implement 5 electric buses in cooperation with the University of Utah. Those buses are just in public service, this fall. And so they are, battery electric buses, and we'll have, high power charging at our central station. And so we're really excited to test these vehicles out. New Flyer is a conventional bus maker. They make, diesel buses primarily. And their, bus they're providing for us is a diesel bus that has been, developed into an electric bus. And so it's, really solid, bus platform. There's tens of thousands of these buses out there, and so we really, like that it's been a good integration of, good bus with, new technology. And then we won a second NOVO grant from, the federal government to implement, Park City, or Park City Connect service that we have. So we're gonna buy 2 buses that connect from Salt Lake County up to Summit County, to connect, to their system. Long term, we're looking at electric buses as, potential for these BRT projects as well. If we were having a conversation 3 to 5 years ago, technology just wasn't there. Now that technology has really evolved, leaps and bounds forward, and so we definitely want to evaluate that as part of, this, study that we're, kicking off this Salt Lake Davis. So sorry, that was a long answer.
No problem.
So this is kind of the, proposed level of the service. So we have 10 to 15 minute headways, on the project, evening service, Saturday service, as well as, Sunday service, on the project. The cost numbers here, so these numbers are from 2014, and they were from the study, so it was identified about $75 million, total capital cost. And so next steps, for the study, so I mentioned we finished this, feasibility study in, 2014, and, we worked with, Davis County as well as the other project partners, and we got a legislative appropriation, a couple of years ago for $1.2 million, to advance the project. And so with that, our intention is to, develop an environmental document as well as some conceptual engineering, to, help better identify the cost, ridership and market for the project. So I should have put my roadmap, that I have for project development, but this is, the next step on project development, the roadmap, to help, seek federal funding. So for our Ogden, BRT project, we just finished this step of the process, and we're working on final engineering for the project and seeking a grant from the federal government to help, complete the costs of it. So, as part of what we'll do with the study is, we'll do the environmental document, the engineering. We'll also do a lot of traffic analysis, looking at, utilities in the corridor to better understand, utility conflicts, as well as, some station costs, station design, as well as content.
So, are you still, okay, so you've got the project location, you've got the nice little map here about what they're doing. So what stage, you talk about, station analysis, traffic flow analysis. We could already tell you some issues we're having with traffic flow around the station and in connection with the 500 south of the traffic lights, and that kind of thing, that, design freeway, but that impacts cars coming and going to that station, over there. So what type of, analysis, you're doing traffic flow analysis, but what type of, you're doing cost estimate for some, I would assume some enhancements, parking, and I guess there's a little disappointment, a little bit in this, that, and I know you're doing the route trip, I understand that, but I guess I'm more interested in getting people to that station to partake in the route trip. So that would be a keen interest to me, is what you're excited at, or is that part of this traffic analysis that you're doing, or?
Yeah, and you're talking about for the wood traffic meter out.
Well, the station, yeah, we've got to connect. We have bus connection, we've got some bike pedestrian access,
Yeah.
which I would love to see some expansion of that, because I don't think this reflects the things that are happening in our city, or around, so, I don't know, so when can we have those dialogues, those discussions? A little more, perhaps.
Yeah, we're just getting something started. Gary helped us go through the consultant selection process. Once we get the consultant on board, then we'll be able to kind of start the scoping of the project. And part of what we'll do with that is really help identify the problems. And so that's a big thing. We want to be able to quantify the problems and sort of make sure that the proposed solutions are solving the issues that obviously identified. And so
So it'll be a work consultant on the traffic analysis.
we have selected a consultant and we're negotiating on the contract with them. We'll get an updated cost proposal from them this week.
So we'll definitely solicit input once we get to that point. We want to hear their perspective.
Yeah, for sure. We want to understand the concerns that we have as part of the project.
We were recently engaged with some, a big general plan and so forth, and I know something, but one major disappointment was, traffic analysis, which we kind of engaged in 2 or 3 over years, and, it's somewhat disappointing in what they're, more interested in just taking engineering and standards and stuff on a national level, rather than actually looking what's happening here.
Yeah, the traffic safety part of the study, so, usually, and what we've scoped as part of the project is we'll do a lot of traffic counts, so we'll collect updated data on the traffic flows, we'll also work with UDOT and city to see what traffic, data they have available. But once we have the counts, we'll take that and we'll develop a traffic model, for the key intersection, and the traffic models are the micro simulation models, and so they're actually really cool. They show like the intersection of geometry, and then through the computer simulations, we'll identify, the pads, the bike pads, the number of cars in the intersection, what the process, and then the computer simulation will simulate the traffic, and then we'll be able to judge, okay, is that
I think you just hit on the head what my perceived as disappointment is that any model, you're using assumptions, and you're using a lot of assumptions, so I'd be keenly interested in what the inputs are and what the assumptions are on this model.
Yeah,
I thought that was good, you can use actual traffic counts.
Well, I know what you also said, model, and, count.
So don't they use that count to do the modeling?
Well, depends on how involved the modeling is.
yeah, we've been doing this for a long time.
Yeah, you have, I don't have no qualms, a little, let transparency, we're looking for, a little like, as you start digging into the devil's always in the details.
Yeah, and that's a big part of the project, to really understand what the positives and negatives of the traffic flow and what the impacts are, so we'll definitely, be looking at that as we go forward. So, the models, that I've worked with over the years, they're calibrated back to the real world data, and so that we can judge, if we make this small tweak to this improvement, what would the impacts be? So, and the models that we use are generally very accurate. When we look at the changes and just, we look at it before and after, and did it happen when we predicted? And they're very close, one of the impressive with the accuracy of the model. So I apologize if you haven't had experience in the past, but it'll hopefully give you a better experience with the project.
Can I ask you a question? We, as a city, have been working on how to improve our, front runner station, and we've had a consulting group in, which I'm sure you're aware of. And there's a variety of ideas that have come in from our residents and the panel that have been coming to these meetings. How is that going to fit in hand with this development? Because if you're bringing in a bus, you know, the connector line, obviously we need to make some improvements to our station. So will you be working to improve the front runner station and the bus line at the same time? Like, will this be grouped together, or is it gonna be two separate projects?
I think what you're saying about is the land study.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of on its own track, and then there's the Solid Davis connector project. We'll look at, providing bus connections, and we'll look at, whatever physical improvements that we need to make, at the front of our station. So, for example, if we did electric buses, we have to put charging infrastructure in the station, so we have, probably a high-powered charger, we have to place and make some, changes to the physical station. So that's the focus of this, and then, Beth mentioned the future front study that we do, and that's really focused on the overall front system, and how what we need to do to improve that, heading towards double track and electrified. And then,
Well, we mainly need a pedestrian bridge.
Yeah.
We have people who are crossing the railroad tracks to come to the platform. They're not going around, they just walk across the railroad tracks, so.
yeah,
That's a problem.
and then all, that future front also that goes into the station.
Okay.
Say we're able to double track and electrify, system that we have a lot of capacity, but then can the station handle? So that would also be something to evaluate with that. So that's definitely long term, that's a long term.
And that's, Hal's right, that's actually gonna dovetail, but yet it's gonna be expensive initially because you wanna understand the full impact. But eventually, in Woods Cross, should there be the capacity level, then we can look at building a structure instead of just flat the ground, and then that can enhance the ability to utilize that station. So that would definitely be based on, obviously, some of the modeling that would occur in terms of the actual number of people that are heading to that station as a unit vehicle. So all of that is, we try to incorporate that, so it's not in a bubble. So like, BRT numbers could be in a bubble of its own, but knowing that that's going to be a future need.
If it doesn't make sense to pay for it, it's fine.
Exactly. And it's already expensive enough, so
That's right.
we want to make sure we get it as close to right as we possibly can.
And then I was gonna mention, I can also talk with our, police department and our safety folks about, if there's problems with, jaywalking, people crossing the station, maybe smaller equipment we can make to solve those issues.
It's usually from the catwalk from the neighborhood, like just over the west side.
Okay. We can have those safety folks do it.
Can I ask a question? Have you guys have looked at the demographics of this, and do you see an increased usage of the system by older females like me? Because we live longer than the guys, right? And so, the demographics of this, is it going to be older females that are going to increase the use this more than maybe any other group? I wonder what your demographics are telling you.
That's a great question. I think, looking at the demographics of people using our systems going forward, we really try to have them be useful for everybody. And so, one of the things that we're doing the preliminary data collection for the 14 study, we heard a lot with the desire for youth to be able to access the system and use it. So, we really try to have it be very universally accessible to everybody.
Okay, so that brings two more questions for me. I used the bus before a little while, coming home from work later at night, and I found it scary. It's a different audience that uses it in the morning going to work than it is in the afternoon. And there were some scary characters on there, and I wondered if, what kind of policies are for the bus driver in dealing with somebody who's behaving in a threatening manner at 8 o'clock at night on the bus. What is the policy for that?
So, we have our own police force, and we have dedicated police officers here when we were in Davis County.
But they're not gonna be on every bus.
No, but they can respond quickly,
They can respond.
or our dispatch would contact, if our police cannot respond quickly, they will contact, the nearest police agency that can respond. Our operators are also trained to diffuse, tense situations,
While they're driving.
well, they're trained to pull over, open the doors of the bus so that, you know, the perpetrator can exit the vehicle, keeping the passengers on the bus safe. But you're right, it's a challenging environment.
It was scary.
We have good relationships with police departments, and our operators are continuously receiving training on how to handle those situations.
And the law does not prohibit us from carrying a concealed weapon if we have a permit, right?
Correct.
But,
That's right.
okay.
We also, sorry, but to finish, on your thing, we also, have a note that you can text in case you don't wanna actually be heard making a phone call.
Oh, okay.
And that is,
287.
Okay.
EYDS.
So you posted signs saying that,
All
because I
over.
haven't used it for a long time, I did enjoy the experience, so.
Okay, well, we wanna change that,
Okay.
but we allow people to text in case they feel uncomfortable and they don't wanna be talking out loud. And you can text to that, and that is posted on all of our buses,
Okay.
as well as our platforms and everything.
Okay, and then the other question, for older women and women who have children and pregnant women, there's not a restroom over there at the Woods Cross Center, right? Because what I see happening is people crossing the street to go use workforce services restroom. And so, at this point in time, there's still not a restroom over there for people, right?
Correct. We don't have restrooms, public restrooms at really any of our rail stations.
You need that for old women.
There is one in the thing.
Yeah, but there's.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
Okay.
And how?
I didn't know that.
I
I've avoided
believe
that too.
in the 5-year capital plan, those restrooms at each proper location, put it in.
I think they're operator restrooms for.
Yeah, we have.
Thank you.
But there is a turnaround.
Okay, thank you.
So that's the end of the slideshow. So I was just also gonna mention, we're setting up, we have a technical committee, we're setting up to help manage, study, consultant study for the policy, committee. So we're inviting the mayor, to be on the policy committee, with us, and then Gary's been great in helping us on this, committee for the event. So, hopefully our, get the consultants under staff very quickly, and move forward with the next, on this, initiative.
So what's your timeline?
So this week, look at my cost proposal, and, usually takes us about, 4 to 6 weeks to get something under contract. And then we'll be working, this fall to kind of look at some of the alignment, variations that we were, identified in the study, from the previous work. And then, starting the environmental process next year, we have to sit down on, 15 months, so we should be done in, maybe in about 18 months or so.
Okay, thanks, Hal, we really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Appreciate all the work that's being done.
Thank you for having me.
I had the opportunity today to be out in Draper, or not Draper, but, Sandy, and look around the station there and how that area is built up and all the transit housing and stuff that's gone in and how we situated the parking lot down amid the apartments and everything there. I thought that was very well thought out, so.
Yeah, thank you.
I wish we could do something here, but we don't have cooperating property owners, so.
Yeah, and it's definitely a tighter area.
Yeah.
Industrial stuff, but anyway, thank you so much for the opportunity tonight, and please know that you can reach out if you have any questions, any one of us can help you. But our goal is to make sure that you know what we're planning, and that you can ask questions and relay that to the residents, so, thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay. Move on to item number 9. This is a public hearing for the 2020 budget for all city funds. Gary, you want to go through it first and then we'll hear it, right?
Sure, I've got a, obligatory, PowerPoint that, just, you step through.
I hope it has
videos are always fun, but, I don't have any of those in there, so we'll try to make it as painless as possible. So that we have Woods Cross 2020 budget. The general fund budget this year is, just a little bit north of $6.9 million. It's actually a decrease of $2.5 million from the 2019 budget, a 26.59% decrease. But that's a little misleading because we have the public works building in that budget. So I've removed the public works facility cost from the fiscal year 2019 budget to get a more realistic view of what the budget. So it's a $387,000 increase in the fiscal year 2019 budget, 5.88%, which is about typical for a general fund increase from year to year. So that gives you a little better idea of what's going on. There's, in the general fund, we're not proposing a property tax increase or any fee increases for the general fund. Yeah, but when we get into the utility, that's a little different story, so, let's save our applause. The general fund revenues, for the general fund, again, the biggest portion of Woods Cross is sales tax, at 44%, but, probably about 10 years ago, that was closer to 60%. So we've made some inroads, that has been one of our goals to work on in the city, is to get that dependence on the sales tax, taken down, from the 60%, because when we're reliant on the sales tax, you're kind of, at the whims of the economy. And so we're trying to broaden our tax base. A few of the things that we've done is we instituted the empty use tax, that's probably been 10 years ago or so. We had a property tax increase, and a few other things that we've done to try to broaden that base. So it was a little bit more comfortable at 44% versus 60%. So I think we've diversified there. As far as our expenditures, I think this chart really shows where the bulk of our general fund expenditures are, and that's in the police department. That's where the bulk of our employees are, and public safety is a big function of the municipality. So this is not out of whack with what other cities have. It's pretty much in line. But you can see that the police is there, and you've got the administration. The public works is basically the streets and the shop area. Of course, added to that, it's not shown in this graph, is our utilities, the stormwater, the water, and the garbage. If we added those onto there, then public works would probably become more comparable with the police department. So that may be a little misleading, because if we looked at the city as a whole, the employees in that public works would be a little bit closer to where the police is. If we added the utilities up to there. Expenditure by type in the city, 47% of our costs are in personnel, 33% operating, 17% capital, and then 3% debt service. That's the public works facility. Personnel by allocation, again, kind of compared to the other chart, 61% of our personnel. Again, let me clarify, this is the general fund only, this doesn't include our utility fund. 61% is in the police, followed by administration at 11%, and then the parks and rec at 9%, 7% community development, 6% public works, and then 6% tuition. So that's how those are allocated out in the general fund. So that's it as a general fund. What we're seeing with the general fund within the city. Now let's go to the enterprise fund. We are looking at a garbage fee increase, increases, next to S there, but for fiscal year 2020. When I get into the garbage fund, we'll talk a little bit about that more in detail. In the water fund, the water revenue is over $1.7 million. The biggest bulk of that comes from your water rates, if you, there's, fit out each month to be paid. 11% is in impact fees, that's risen a little bit over last year because of the building that we're having in the city, and then 3% miscellaneous. Water fund expenditures, 17% is personnel, and that's comprised of both the guys out in the field that do the work on the system, as well as the office people that do the building. And, then the operating is at 34%, 10% capital, 15% depreciation, and then 21% debt service. Our debt service is, fairly high in the water fund because we've got the water treatment plant that we're paying off, plus a bond that we did a number of years ago for some reservoirs and supplies that we put in. That's a little high, but not extraordinarily high. Garbage fund, garbage fees, 86% are green waste fees, so 13% of the revenues, and the interest is 1%. And the increase that we're facing in the garbage fund is that, Wasatch Integrated Waste, who runs the landfill and the processing facility up there, has started working on a new facility where they're going to bring recyclables in and sort it all out and deal with the recycling and that area. And Councilmember Larry, have I got that right?
Spot on.
Right, and so what they're doing is, for all the communities that use that facility, they notified us that they're going to increase our tipping fees by $2 per household per month to cover that facility. Now, the way I see that is in the short run, our residents are gonna feel that increase. But I think in the long run, as we sort that out, particularly with our recycling and work with our contract with our hauler for the recycling, I think we can bring that down. I think it will overall be good for us, but I think in the short run, while they're building the facility and they're collecting that fee and we're trying to sort out how to work with our recycler, hauler, our residents are gonna have to bear that. And I think over the long run, I think we can work that and get that back down by, reducing our recycling fees. So that's gonna be our goal over the next, year or so, is to work that through. Again, even with the $2 increase, our fees are not extraordinarily high. I don't know, Councilor Larry, have they done a study to show where we're at? I think the last one I saw was pretty terrible.
In comparison, even on the low side, compared with the rest of the state.
Yeah. But we're gonna do our best to try to work that back through.
Gary, are we looking at a $2 or $2.50?
Oh, yeah, let me clarify, that's good, because at our work session, the council suggested that while we're raising it, so actually the increase is gonna be 2.25, because every year, we get a cost of living CPI, I guess it's like cost of living, a CPI increase from the hauler to cover their costs, which we for a number of years have not passed on, and so we felt that while we're raising it, we go up 2.25. So those numbers that I'm showing up there reflect the $2.25.
So that's gonna be over $25 more a year.
Yes. It'll be, about 25 and a bit over. The expenditures in the garbage fund, 7% of it go to the personnel, which is again the guys that go out and deliver it and take back the garbage cans. That they go and do the cleanup that we do each year, as well as the office personnel that administers the building. So that's where that 7%. 2% under the legal fees, our insurance fees, etc. Got tipping fee, 39%. That's again a fairly large percentage of the fee. It's always been that way. Finding a place to put the garbage is usually the most expensive part of the garbage system. Recycling is 19%, the green waste that we do is 9%, and then the collection of the trucks that come to pick your garbage up is 22%. So that, and then 1% on the cans. We have to buy new cans where the customers come in, And two, our cans are getting to the age, they're 25 plus years old, so they're getting to the age where they're starting to deteriorate, so we'll have to replace it for them.
Gary, why do, we pay for the collection fees, why doesn't the waste management company do the collection?
Well, that's what we pay waste management to collect it.
Oh, they do this? Okay.
By collection, I mean to collect our garbage. Maybe that's.
Oh, okay, like collection, I'm thinking collecting fees.
Collection fees, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay.
That's the collection of garbage.
Okay,
Yeah, that's what we pay with.
Oh, okay.
It's
Okay.
22%, yeah. The next fund is the stormwater fund, again, 72% of the fee, revenue comes from the stormwater fee that is collected each month on the utility bill. 26% on impact fees, and 2% on miscellaneous, in the stormwater fund. How it's expended, again, is for personnel at 20%, operation at 29%, capital at 37%, and then depreciation at 42%. And, the budget for the stormwater fund is $650,000 for this year. So I think in a nutshell, that's kind of my presentation. The public or the council have any questions, I'll be available to answer.
Okay, thanks, Gary, appreciate that.
Okay.
I know we've been in several budget meetings and work sessions, and we've discussed this quite a bit. Let's go ahead and open it up to a public hearing. So if there's any comments from the public on the budget proposal, and then once we close the public hearing, I'll entertain, council.
I want to make a, I just want to make a statement on this garbage thing as I see it. I was here when the company came and asked for an increase in fees, even though we had contracted at another fee. And as I listened to the presentation, it came across to me that first of all, they had set up an unethical plan, a non-sustainable plan. It was unethical in shipping our garbage to foreign countries, and it was non-sustainable. But now what we see is happening is that we, the little guys in the community, are going to have to pay fees to bail them out for their inadequate planning and unethical behavior. And, I looked online to see, what was happening to the stock of this company that had made the presentation, and their stock had doubled in value, within 5 years. So it looked to me that they had the money to deal with it. So it just looks to me like it's the big guy, the corporation, sticking the little guy again. Just want to make that statement. And Gary, I do appreciate your pie chart, whatever, it makes it much easier for me to understand when you put little tiny numbers up there that I can't read anyway.
Okay.
Thank you.
I purposely made it larger.
Did you make it just for me? Thank you so much, I do appreciate it.
Yeah.
And they're colorful, so they're very.
Yeah, I like the colors.
Okay, any other comments from the public? Corey, you sit back there and you're all involved, and I appreciate that.
And you know what, is this not sad? How many people are in Woods Cross, and something as important as the budget, and there's 4 people here? How sad?
Well, it's also kind of a good thing too, that they trust us as their elected officials to handle the money and make correct decisions for them. So we worry when they're carrying pitchforks and torches and the place is full, so that's when we know we're not doing our job.
My thing on that is that, you know what, the people would come in here and complaining when they get that bill for $25.
Yeah.
But where were they
Yeah.
when we were discussing this?
Right.
Well, and here's the thing, and having served on the district, which Wally served now for 8 years, knowing that we're trying to do everything in our power to preserve the length of time we can use that landfill up there in Layton. And as long as we can do what we're doing now, and the plans are in place, the building of this MRF that Gary talked about, which is the cause of the increase, if you will, that's gonna preserve the length of the time we can use that landfill, because if we're around in 20 years when that landfill is completely full and we have to start hauling our garbage to Twilla or Boswell or someplace like that, you're gonna look at probably 100% increase in what our fees are gonna be.
What
So
part is Layton gonna play in this? Are they gonna get a $25 a year increase?
Everybody's gonna get the same increase, so, and I'm glad Ryan's not here when you need it. Because we would be here for another 25 minutes, no, I'm just kidding. No, but I agree, so I applaud the district, for what they're doing, and I thank Wally for his participation in that. They're making great decisions on our behalf to keep the cost down as much as possible.
But you do recognize, Rick, that burning the garbage is not good for the environment. Burning it is not good.
Using it as fuel is,
Right,
and not just running it out.
yeah,
So which is more healthy for you, putting it in the ground or inhaling it?
When it actually uses fuel at the cement kiln,
But you're
there's no
inhaling,
pollution.
but you're inhaling that way. Just one to make my point.
It's being scrubbed before it's put it in the atmosphere.
Removing the CO2?
yeah,
Okay, thank you, Richard.
yeah, they're very environmentally conscious up there. Nathan does a great job, he's got some great engineers on board, and he wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't safe for the environment.
I'm not saying it's not safe, I'm just saying it's not.
Yeah, it's better than standing out there on I-15, you know, with your windows down and breathing all the exhaust and breathe every day, so. So anyway, if there's no further questions or comments for the open, or the public hearing, I will, close the public hearing and ask for comments from the council. And if there's no comments, then I would call for a motion to, we approve these tonight, or we hearing? That's the next meeting.
Yep.
Okay, so any other comments from the council? If
I
not, we'll
have
move on.
one, I have one about senior lunch bunch, but it may have to do with their budget. But I had talked to Vicki about the possibility of looking at sending the tablecloth every month with the police uniform to the cleaners, instead of them cleaning, right now they wash and iron 12 large round tablecloths and 3 8-foot tablecloths, in addition to making all the food. So I wondered if that was something maybe we could look into, to ease that burden on them.
So I think if they just give us a cost, we can add that into the budget.
Okay.
That's what I'm.
I didn't think it would be that much, and I didn't know, Chief, do we have an agreement with the cleaners that you use?
They give the discount rate on it.
So I wonder if what do you think, Jeff?
I would say, that it's probably going to be easier for Vicki to just,
Drop them off herself?
yeah, wherever she wants to do it, and
Okay.
then we can cover the cost.
Right, versus whatever stuff.
Preferably downstream of our wells.
I'll let her know.
And Vicki's not having to keep track of what day to pick up and drop off,
Okay.
and
that'd be easier for her, yeah. Okay, then I have a few other things about senior lunch bunch, but I can take up for a discussion. Thank you.
Which, by the way, we are now in open session.
Good, great, segue. Does anyone in the public?
So, anyone in the audience have anything for the open session? If not, then, council, anything for the open session? Matt?
Not to talk about the Memorial Day, but it's its own section, so we'll just do that.
Okay, Ken?
I was, reviewing some things, and we, of course, Gary sent an email that we're gonna be looking at the, changes in our ordinances, building and so forth, I just, I know we had this discussion back in April a little bit, and now we're 4 months down the road again, and I thought we were gonna see an RFP,
6 weeks.
no,
We had discussion in April, June. Some 6 months.
I apologize for the long term, but
I'm
I didn't mean to say.
Yeah, it hasn't been that long.
Yeah. I'm a little lost, I guess, you know, we're supposed to, kind of be, have both sides. to where we are on that project, and I know there was some great concern that we said, okay, we're gonna go out with now, to write some ordinances and so forth, and I'm not gonna be here in July, I'm only gonna be first of July. So I'm not sure, I know we went to the presentation, and, you know, I just want to put down, say, you know, our salary, the transportation, and the plan going forward, and what they were trying to do on the legislative level. So I guess I was just looking maybe perhaps for more of a project timeline, and to kind of lay it out a little bit. I think, I know that you just said budget, you just went through budget, that's a huge lift, did it for years, I know it's a big lift. You know, you're still training your assistant manager, you have 2 new people in the administrative staff, I know there's lots of things going on. I realize that, but I'm just, again, you know, the writing, changing the ordinances, is kind of taking it back to keep everything. So I just, you know, so my concern and would like to see, a project timeline, kind of what's laid out, what we wanna do, when it's gonna be able to done. I'm there with you, I have these projects I'm trying to do at work, and it just means everything is kind of rolls along, unless I've got some sort of a calendar and deadlines, and I don't wanna get into micromanagements, I do have concerns with builders and the interest in, even just what we just listened to in the guardrail, how many moving pieces, there are a lot of moving pieces on it. And I just would like to know that we kind of have, a top 50,000 foot level of what's gonna be happening here, and what's going on. So I just express the concern that we get a kind of project timeline, project map, not a detail, but just what are we doing, and so we can engage, or and maybe it's our fault, our council, maybe we haven't, okay, we maybe we need to go out and start with the overall proposal, maybe the RFQ is. So I did have to engage in that, get that RFQ is done, you know, and move this, you know, some along somehow, but now, over a year since we started the general plan, we have a moratorium, and we're still, in my view, kind of a little short on what we were.
Well, you said you're not gonna be here the first meeting in July?
No, I'm not.
Okay, so I was planning on having that discussion then, so we can accelerate that and have it actually the next meeting, if all you're looking at is the timeline, so we'll go ahead and put that on.
What's our project?
Yeah.
So we got this piece over here, we got this piece, and they all somehow gotta come together, be it the bar rapid transit, be it, you know, what we're doing with the other folks, lots of regional, but, we have developers, wanting to do the same. I'm not sure if Scoop's still over here, not too much activity there, but, so, you know, just kind of, just maybe on paper, my own brain, my own thoughts, but everything was kind of gotta make coordinate.
Yeah.
And it's not my, I know I'm not the planner, I'm not the person in this day to day, but I feel lost, as on what the other side is, where we're at, what we're doing.
Sure. Him working on the RFP, I think it's got to be pretty close. So, we'll just put that on the next agenda, and we'll have him here, and we'll kind of put a roadmap together.
Yeah.
Okay?
And because we might want to look at more than just one night, you know, I know some great people that do a lot of legal work, writing ordinances and stuff, and talk to a lot of them, and I just, you know, want to make sure that we know, have that.
We'll have that discussion.
All the teams together.
Okay, you.
All right, so I have a few things. One, the fire truck was mixed today, do you know what was going on there? They weren't even able to pull into the development, so they were blocking 800 West. One of our officers was there.
They look at that, yeah, one.
Okay. Yeah, so that brought up a concern for me that if something ever does happen and they can't even get the fire engine in there, that's a concern.
The parking lot is pretty tight.
Yeah. So, what do we do about it?
So where are you talking?
Right here, right on it, they were there, yeah. I saw
And so
them.
when our officers was out directing traffic around the fire truck, it was blocking the southwest end.
haven't we approved it, I mean, once that development is going, the fire trucks can get in there, and that fire
Yeah.
code. It's gonna be tight, I think right now, everything's up in the air over there, but legally, they had to have approved that fire trucks can get in there, but during construction, it's kind of no man's land.
I'll talk to Jeff about it, see what this.
See what his feelings are on it, yeah. I've had several residents reach out to me and tell me that they do not like that someone can pass their child from the third window to their neighbor because they're so close together, so. like, And they hope that there's never a fire, because. I know. Okay, then I don't know if you guys got the email from Jen Brown, she's the Davis County Republican Women's President, about the Flag Day celebration. Did you all get it? Okay. Well, I went to this celebration last year, it was really cool, she put a lot of time and effort into it, and I learned a lot, but I mean, I'm not gonna sing a solo or a duet, if there's more than one person, then yes, I would help, but it won't be the Julie show. But I was going to respond to her, do you want me to include a response from all of us, or, you're each?
I've already responded to her,
Okay.
so I would just say, let's just do it individually based on your own personal schedule and whether or not you can attend. They've asked, that there be a choir, I guess, the theme, was
God Bless America.
God Bless America, of all the elected officials.
And then the audience was going in on the last verse.
Right, so,
But it was really a cool thing last year, my kids had a great time, they had, fishing
and Gary stood on the back porch and listened.
and.
It's in Hayesville, Farmers Park, so.
Oh, so Barnes Park?
It is. Okay, and then, LeGrand, my friend across the street at 1185 South, 800 West, has completed his fence out. It's not at the start of his home.
It was determined that in that particular area, the front setback was 25 feet.
Okay,
The first fence post was at 26.
okay.
So it's a forward of the house, because the house was
What's
set
that back so far?
further than the required.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you for taking care of that.
Yeah, the grand kids spent quite a bit of time on that.
It started out at 23 feet, so
Thank you.
I made it move it back.
That's the back of it.
I did notice, yeah.
They had a little bit of discussion.
That'd be fun.
And then Mountain View Estates, I had a resident, Kim Drake, contact me about some down street lights. They had some street lights that were blown over last fall during one of the windstorms. And it was determined that they are the city's responsibility. And Public Works has told the HOA and the residents that they would be fixed, but it's now June, and it has not been fixed. So there's several throughout the community.
Okay.
They came and took them out, so now there's just a hole where the wires cut on the ground. But they need to come and replace them.
Okay, I'll check this out. We usually have a contract that we do that, so I don't know if we've got them lined up, we just haven't got to it.
Okay.
So that's in Mountain View State?
Mountain View State, yeah,
Okay.
she just said there's several throughout there, and, if you need more information, I can give the number.
Okay, well, I'm sure Scott's aware of it.
Okay.
I need to just figure out why they have to put that. Because we have money budgeted to take care of that.
And then, Senior Lunch Bunch, Vicky doesn't have keys to the building, so I don't know if we can
Okay.
get her some keys.
Yeah.
And then she asked if we would be okay having our Public Works guys set up and take down. Because right now, they set up for us, but then some of them hang out and try to take down, and she's worried about having the seniors do it.
Let us have lunch as part of the lunch, maybe.
Come down.
Because we've been lamenting the fact that now we're no longer
I
getting
know,
a
right?
lunch,
You don't get food.
So, I'll work with Scott and see if these guys can do it. If not, hey.
Well, Molly seemed to be really okay with it this last time, she asked him, but she said, I I don't wanna have to ask every month,
Okay.
and so,
She talked to me and I talked to Scott on board, they will be down
Okay.
there.
all right.
Meetings and stuff, so he was the one.
Okay, well, we'll,
And I think they're all adjusted to the new building, so the numbers dwindle a little bit, but I think they'll start to.
a lot more room.
It's so much more room, yeah, it is, it's really nice. Okay, that's all I have.
Okay. Well, thank you. So the only thing that I had was, our farmer's market last night. I don't know if any of you came over at any time or whatever, I didn't see anybody there, I was there for about an hour and a half. We only had 3 people show up.
Okay, I was just softball.
So we had the taco truck there, which he did okay, because the pickleball people bought a lot of food from him, and then those that came for the 2 booths that we did have,
Oh, we only had 2 vendors?
we had 2 vendors there, which she was told by several that it was almost this is the first farmer's market of the year for anybody. And so, really, the guy down at Lee said that there's really no produce available right now, so it's kind of early in the season. We had 3 fantastic, logos that I judged, and we gave out prizes, they looked really good. We're actually gonna use all 3 of them on our banner and stuff that she's gonna, just because we couldn't pick a winner, they were all really good. And so, anyway, so Julie, can you work with her and give her the help that she needs? I think she's been a little bit over her head. She would be very nice if she had her birthday. Yeah, it's her birthday and her husband had some plans, so.
I'll call her and nail her down. I talked to her.
In passing all the time.
Yeah, at her crossing, but I will get an appointment set up with her.
What are you doing for advertising on that?
Well, basically, all she's doing is the Facebook page.
I wonder if you should get, you know, and I know that we don't allow them, but, you know, just a little tent sign, even if it's down there, regular around tractors, make tractor supply aisles, and, you know, farmer's market line or Monday. Cause I see the one from North Salt Lake,
Yeah.
I know that I do in Dennisville,
Yeah.
but, you know, I think.
So we only have 17, well, we have 184 members, but only 17 people saw her last post,
So,
yeah,
so
I'll
we
work
need,
with her on.
if you'll work with her, I would appreciate it, I told her we give her some support.
There's a gal down in Foxborough that ran the one for 1,000. Her name is Connie Trail. And I know that she'd probably be happy to jump in, you know.
She had some comments. So I see it could be a great activity for our community. The one that we did last year, there was probably 9 or 10 booths that were set up. And there was a couple of conflicts, for, a couple of people who were there last year that couldn't come this year.
Well, they decided a couple of days.
Yeah.
Like I said, I do North Salt Lake all the time.
After that, signs
Oh,
on
I
her.
know. You know,
And so-
I don't think it's.
I can have, Gary, if we need to have some signs made and stuff like that, I told her we'd work with her, especially now we got the logo. She didn't wanna make any signs until we got the logos, but we didn't judge the logos until the first event, so it was kind of counterproductive. And, so if you could give her some help, that would be great.
She came in yesterday, talked to me, and told her to go, once she got the logos, to go get a cost on the size that we're talking. So that's kind of where we're at.
Okay.
Then she talked to me about posting them around, and I said, well, if it's on a temporary basis, yeah, you can post them around for a couple of days, we don't want to have there a long time, but we'll work with that.
Okay, anything else for the open session? If not, then let's move on to item number 11, which is the Memorial Day recap. I just wanted to get everybody's feedback, other than the weather. I think it went over real good.
The weather actually, after the program started, the weather was.
Yeah, that's right. It's cold.
I wouldn't change anything as far as, because we know last year, 700 people ran, this year, 250 ran, it wasn't because people didn't know about it, it's people wanted to go out there running.
Yeah.
So I think that the procedure is rock solid. I couldn't have done the race at all without the White City. They are so helpful for managing the water stations and the registration. And so I appreciate them.
Now we have unicorns on the yard.
Yeah.
I know, that would be nice.
Any other comments?
Well, the speakers were excellent.
They're very good, powerful.
So, just so you know, I emailed Mitt Romney today and asked him to be our keynote speaker for next year. Haven't got a response back yet, but it was just this afternoon when I emailed him. I've tended to stay away from political figures because of the chaos that it caused last time, but, I think, what the heck, I got two more years. We might as well go for controversy, right?
Go out on a bang.
But, I think that Romney would be an excellent choice. If I can get him, that's who I'm gonna go after, so, we'll see what we can do.
I think it would be good too, is the news, I think they need to have a standing invitation. We talked about a couple times ago about really PR that we're doing. I think because every news station had a couple of communities with this or that. We're putting on a good enough show that I think it will look good.
And we've had in the past, depending, we've had some in the past, but I don't know if we've sent out anything this year, except for let them know.
I'm not putting any press notice, if it's something, we go out, personal invite or whatever, that this is worth showing up and just, even if it's just a photographer that takes pictures, I mean, they don't have to do a big write-up, but it's just anything positive PR, on a good sunny Memorial Day, so what's there, 3,000 or something? That's pretty impressive.
If we can, the office here, we'll work it, put down some notices.
That's our big deal of the year.
We'll get it out to the Clipper and.
Well, the Clippers usually there, they usually do it right, but I didn't see, then you'll see them there in the rain.
But we can get it to the TV stations as well, and see if, they might buy them, come and.
We had a guy there that thinks he came all over us.
Probably will have National Geographic one.
We could have the Channel 2 weather station, mobile weather station, where they would lead the race or something, or be behind our police officers on the, as they go, so.
I think next year, we should move the bike registration to the registration table. And did you get very many? And I took 3, so,
Yeah.
it should be over by, where they were registering for the race.
Our shoes were confused, not knowing.
Yeah,
where
poor
they
Pat.
can get up.
Yeah, she had no.
She was there bright and early, she was there by 6:15, ready to go, and I don't know what to do, so. Yeah, I think it would be nice if we could give her, if we do it again, a little bit more, a sign or something, so people know where it is.
And advertise a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna rain next time, we gotta give her a towel.
We have a whole bunch of water, no one needs drinking water, they're ready.
Our police officers will use it during the summer.
Okay, well, I appreciate everybody's help, and Chief, how was your first experience? I know it was wet, but.
Yeah, good. I thought it was good. Yeah, we had the good presence of police, so.
Yeah, thank you. And thank you for giving me the okay of them, that follows the 2-year-old. That 2-year-old knows him after, he's still talking about all of his suffers, so his mom was very grateful. The resident, I have a resident name who I spoke to you about, who served in Afghanistan, and he's a gentleman that will run in the race. He didn't run this year, probably this spring, but he carries an axe on his back in honor of his friend who lost in service. And I think if you need to reach out to him and see if he would speak for us.
You'll give me that information,
Yeah.
and I'll speak with him. of Matt?
Got a short little, planning commission. We just say, not to get into a lot of detail, but when we're doing these future ordinances, we need to read nice and tight with our language. And that we have in there, that we don't have interpretation disputes. That there are some that issues like with fence that we just need to make sure it's tight. I'm not saying that the planning commission did anything wrong, but it was an interpretation that is how we interpret what we can have. So as we go into this next year and we're really working on those ordinances, we wanna make sure that they're tight, that we don't run into anything like across the street, we just get blindsided because we didn't see it coming. So, but no, as far as on the topic, there really wasn't.
Thank you. Ryan's not here. As far as my report goes, Chief, you wanna take some time and maybe tell about Corey and what he did up in Logan?
Yeah, sure. Corey contacted me and said, hey, what happened to Logan Health? So I called the chief of Logan and I said, we have this bloodhound. He said, I didn't know anybody in the northern area had a bloodhound, so you have to send him up. So Memorial Day, Corey went up and helped, did a fantastic job. Actually, the dog indicated, well, maybe I should let him tell it. You wanna tell it?
I think you're better off.
You were there,
Indicated where the child was found, he was within probably 8 feet, maybe 6 feet from where it was at. And the FBI was running it, so Corey had 30 agents in blue jackets following him around, and had a drone above his head and taking video, and so a lot of pressure was on him, and he did a fantastic job. But he said, I want somebody to check that area right there, my dog won't leave. We tried to pull away and went back and went back and went back. So they said, we'll check that later. I think we need you to go somewhere else, right? Check the canal or something. And so they pulled him off and he had to literally drag his dog away from the spot where they found the child. So they would have found her a couple days earlier, I think. And he got a call a day later and said, you were right on where she was at. So he did a fantastic job. And I know the chief expressed to me, appreciated us sending the dog up there, and they were grateful for that, so.
We appreciate all the time and effort you put in on that. That was really a bad deal.
Anything to add to that? No,
I mean, it's a tough case, it's an emotional tough case, you know, we discussed it with a lot of people going back over, and, you know, part of the reason was pulling it off was the way that the FBI structured the investigation, they compartmentalized everything, to kind of explain maybe why it was meant to, you know, my job is to run the dog and say, check there, I don't check there, there's another crew that comes in and checks there. And I keep it compartmentalized. One of the big reasons is to protect the investigation and also leaks to the media and whatnot. So that was some of the mishaps that happened. We learned a lot from it. But looking at the track, the pack track map that I had, I mean, he was on it. So we were there. So thank you.
Well, thank you for going up there. That's a hard thing to work, so thank you.
Okay.
What about the young man at the, Craig Tractor Store?
He was by himself,
Okay,
so we just kind of surmised that he went off of that loading dock, and then he said, we're pretty sure he hit the handlebars, he had a pretty good wound on his cheek, and then the handlebars hit the asphalt, so.
okay.
And then his 417 sister found him on Find My Friend. He was supposed to come home and visit him, so then they called.
I heard that, but I didn't know who it sounded, so, how is she doing? Anyone know?
Very complex, obviously, but we assume she's doing okay. We haven't really followed up with her, so.
I know I've seen several quotes on Facebook and different things just from the family thanking the police and fire department for the professional way that they handled it. And so we appreciate that very much, so.
And it started to rain, the fire department brought their easy up and put it out over him while we did the investigation, and so they helped us out, and then Officer Johnson had a funeral yesterday,
Okay.
so I haven't talked to him today, but I'll follow it.
Yeah, there's a lot of comments, yeah, a lot of comments on Facebook, they have some pictures from the funeral and different things on there, so I really appreciate that.
Well, thank you for taking care of that.
Okay, Gary.
Yeah, I just, put in the report, progress on EPS. We're getting close to essentially into the building, they've got the equipment that we, paid for and it's being installed, so hopefully in another week or so, we'll get it migrated.
So they solved the problem getting the internet and all that down to the city shop?
Yeah, they just bring it set up, and we get to that.
Well, okay, you're talking about that, so I didn't know if it's part of the new, it's just we had here.
Yeah, well, yeah, we have to essentially in this building and that one, so that's what's taking our time, but we're getting there.
Are we looking at changing our security system here in this building to the same type of key fobs and stuff? The other one, I know we discussed that at one point, but we don't do that or not.
Yeah, Scott and I, our system is old here, so, yeah, we need to, discuss that and possibly migrate over to a better system. So, yeah, we'll have that discussion.
And hopefully our computer system is configured, so we're not like a, what is it? Not all four, it's big, and there's
Yeah, there's quite a few that's been fighting out, so.
18 million.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll have a motion, can I drop the motion?
Mayor, one more thing, can you tell me what's being put in across the street, from the mobile home park, 1300 West, it says 1300 Fleming. It's in West Bountiful, I know, but you know what it is they're gonna be, tell me it's not a dry cleaning plant.
I wouldn't think so, but I'm really not sure. I
Across
haven't,
from you where the trucks yards are?
Used to be the trucking company there, and they like leveled everything and moved the trucking company east. And there's a sign out there that says 1300 Fleming, and I've Googled it, and I can't find, I don't know what the building is.
My understanding is it's another truck yard, my understanding is that's been blocked all of that property, so I assume they're gonna park trucks there.
More trucks?
Yep.
Okay,
That's my guess.
thank you.
okay, can I have a motion to adjourn the city council meeting?
So move.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so city council meeting is adjourned, and we are now in a redevelopment agency meeting, so I'll give Annette time to change the tape, or stop and start, or whatever she wants to do. Are we good to go? Okay, so I will call for consideration to approve the minutes from May 7th.
So moved.
Second,
I'll second.
all in favor, Matt?
Aye.
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 Okay, that's unanimous. Gary, any presentation on the RDA? budget?
Oh, yeah,
We have
I'm not gonna let you get out of here.
PowerPoint?
No, we
Need to send a PowerPoint.
yeah, you know, I'm on a roll here.
About like 4 pages, so that's okay.
Yeah, we got another hour here. No, we'll have you out of here in 5 minutes. This is the 2020 budget for the redevelopment agency. The total budget in the RDA is $938,000, that's a $108,000 increase from the 2019 budget of 13%. And, that increase is basically, is comprised of, you'll see a CDBG grant there, 16%, that wasn't on the chart last year. We applied for a CDBG grant, help us with the subsidence departmentals, and we got $75,000 grant. So that's part of that increase, plus, the legacy CDAs were triggered by triggering, I mean, that we start collecting the tax increment, from those, project areas. That was because we wanted to trigger it, but the county says we held off so long that we do need to trigger it. And, we've let the property owners in those CDAs know that it's triggered. And, actually, the Smiths have come in and presented a tentative plan has really brought some improvement. So we'll probably, within the next few years, probably see some things over those areas. The revenues, 500 south, the project area, 26%, 500 west is 18%, and 2600 south is 7%. The legacy is 5%, our interest is 1%, grants I mentioned, and then the transfer in 13% is that we have an agreement with Factory on the Smith project that we pay them a percentage of the sales tax for 5 years, into that area, so that's transferred from the general fund into there. We're already into our second year, so in 3 more years, that'll go away. And then, fund balance, 14%, we're using some of the money that we collected over the years to help with the home departmental. So that's the revenues. The expenditures, again, personnel, a little bit heavy there, but we're spending a lot of time with the Farm Meadows project, so it's taking a little bit of time there, so that's why we have the personnel cost there. The operating, again, is our legal fees, our studies that we have Jason do, we've covered in that. Contribution to government is that the 500 South project is a joint project with West Bountiful. And what we do is we collect the money, from the county, for the tax increment, and then we send a check to West Bountiful, so we call that contribution to the government. So we're not really giving money to them, we're just giving them their money that they rightfully deserve. The 2600 South payment, that's again the agreement that we have with Factory on their project. And then the housing at 27% is the work that we're doing in Farm Meadows. And we have planned, at least right now, 3 homes that we're going to, work on. 2 of them through the regular process, 1 income related to the CDBG grant, and we may possibly have a 4th one. We've got, 4 applications on the second round of funding. And so, we're gonna be reviewing those next week, and I'm hoping that we can scrape up enough money to help out enough, we'll do 1 more. So hopefully in fiscal year 20, we'll do 4 homes again.
Is that last home based in just a partial, like, you were gonna do the second round, that you contribute X amount?
But they still have to meet our criteria.
Right.
Right.
I was just kinda curious if they're offering, like, right now, they cost 10%. But are these other houses coming in, are they talking, hey, I'll do 50%, or I'll?
The maximum that RDA would contribute to that would be 50,000, so about 50%. But, I think we've got some that's offered even less than that. So, we're gonna take a look at it, we're making sure that they meet the criteria, and, then at that time, then we can award those, to that homeowner as well. So, I feel good that we're getting, 4 homes, because I originally anticipated probably 2. So, more on that.
Have you heard back from Melissa? You know, the emails that the text we were getting from Melissa a couple weeks ago?
Oh, about the meeting? Yeah. Oh, I haven't heard from her.
So that's what I was wondering, is she been able to set up the meeting yet?
I think it's scheduled for, the 10th is what I heard, but I haven't heard anything definitive. That's moving on, actually from the other side.
Okay.
So we'll be following up with that.
Are we still seeing movement in those homes?
Yes. Yes. The time of the year that we see the most movement is probably from September to about November, December. And that's because that's the water year, when things get the lowest. Because, you're pumping a lot out, plus it's dry during that period of time. So every year, it's in the late fall, it's going to see the most movement. And I had probably 4 or 5 people call me and say, my home's having problems, I haven't had it before. So it is showing up, and the homes that were kind of bad a few years ago are now being a little bit worse. I don't think, of all the ones we've done out and looked at in the last little while, I don't think any of them are near to where Klein and Castleberry and Gabby and Lance were. I don't think we're to that point yet. So that's actually good news for us, because hopefully we can maybe keep ahead of the curve, at least get the homes that are in the worst shape, like those homes where we get them taken care of. So, I'm getting a lot of appreciation from people saying, you know, we appreciate the city, we appreciate that the city council, the RDA, stepping up and trying to help out. So I think it's very positive. Anyway, that's the RDA budget, I think that's it, so there you go with that.
We're curious to see if the heavier water this year,
Yeah,
2% on part of it.
Yeah.
We're blaming all of this as the aquifers drying up, you know? And you can't fix anything in 1 year, I don't care how much water's out there, this is not a 1 year fix.
Oh, no.
I would be curious if this year we see less movement because there's more water in that soil in November than there has in years past, so.
It's gonna be interesting
I'll
to
be
see,
curious to see.
this fall, because we are still tracking, we're still measuring the water level, so it'll be interesting to track it and see what it does.
Comes up and it's that.
Uses the patient.
Okay, so now we'd like to open the public hearing. If anyone has any comments concerning the RDA budget, feel free to come forward and state your name and address for the record. It appears that we have no comments.